You're listening to the 49 Carats Podcast, a 49ers Goldmine production with Stephanie Sanchez.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the 49 Carats Podcast. I'm your host, Steph. Still dog sitting, still not home, as you can see from the backdrop, me using my AirPods. But you know what? We're going to keep it rolling. And joining me today for a 49ers live mock draft is John Chapman. How you doing today, John?
This is like the best way to start a day. Are you kidding me? We're a day away from the draft. We're doing our final mock draft together. And man, this is awesome, Steph. So wonderful to be with you as always. I'm a big fan and excited to see who are some of these possibilities that the Niners could end up with. This is going to be fun.
I think so too. And who better to do it with than you, John? I know you've done a lot of great work, studying a lot of these prospects. You do film breakdowns. I know you got a lot of that going on your Patreon. For anyone who isn't subscribed to John's Patreon, make sure you go and do that. Lots of great content for you. But without further ado, let's get into this mock draft. We're going to pull it up here. So we got the PFF thing going, and let me see if I can maybe zoom in a little bit so you guys can see that just a bit better. There you go. So we want to be able to see what the other the other teams are picking. So I got it at a decent speed here so we could kind of just see. I want to know who the Seahawks are getting for the most part. They kind of scare me. Let's look at we're going to look at needs for the 49ers and all that. So let's just get this going. It's going to be a 7-round draft. Right off the bat, we're getting asked for trades. I don't want to do a trade right now because, maybe down the line we will, but no need to do it right now. So let's see.
It's interesting because the draft's going to be weird. Like every year it's weird. There's never been a draft where it went almost like everybody thought. And probably this one more than most. It's going to be interesting. And the Seahawks, I think they're going D-line. I don't think they're going to touch quarterback.
Ooh, Tyree Wilson.
Down at 20. See, and that's the thing. That's one of those things I just don't really see happening. There's rising the polls, the betting props. There's movement for Tyree going as high as number 2 currently.
Yes, that is true. So, do you think that's a smoke screen, though?
Well, for Tyree Wilson, it's almost like last year. It depends on which team is drafting. Because if you've got Trent Baalke drafting a defensive lineman, he would go Tyree Wilson. I think, there's rumors. I don't remember who said it. It might have been Daniel Jeremiah. But Daniel Jeremiah said, like, literally out of 32 teams, there was one team that was not going to take the Hutchinson as the number 1 pick, and that was the Jaguars. Well, guess what? The Jaguars and Trent Baalke had the first pick. They took the guy nobody else would have taken because they're a traits-driven team. So it's just different. Oh, Michael Wilson went pick 75.
I love Michael Wilson.
I do too. That's right. Isaiah McGuire's gone. I think Dell's gone.
That's someone who I would have been interested in. Yeah,
this is hurting. You fall in love with these guys,
but it happens.
Shoemaker's gone. Corey Trice is gone. Byron
Freeland
Trice is
just
gone.
Went too. This is just blowing up my whole plan here. All right, so we're on the clock. At pick 99 now. We do have a trade offer if we, maybe don't like who we see here. Tajay Spears, I'm actually surprised he would make it this far. There's no way in real life, I think, that he makes it this far.
I think the film 100% agree with you. The problem that I have with Tajay is the two ACL tears. That's the one
Frank
issue
Gore,
where
baby.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I do think some teams will kind of back off their grade a little bit on him. I know Wayne's high on him. Everybody that's met him in person loves him. And so if that's the case, these teams are going to be the same way. So, all right.
Let's
go ahead.
You want to see who's available for tackles? Let's just see that because I still feel like that's, obviously the biggest position of need for the 49ers. We got Tyler Steen, who, I'm a little surprised that he's still available. I think he'd be a great fit. Braden Daniels, of course, is someone who the 49ers have now met with 3 times. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It could mean either thing, right? But he's certainly there. I think there's a chance. Look, we got 3 picks almost in a row, so I think there's a chance he's there, later for us. But what do you think? We don't have to just look at tackles here.
Yeah, I think those 4 names that you see at the top, Braden Daniels, Tyler Steen, Jalen Duncan, Nick Saldiveri, my highest grade is on Braden Daniels, but I think he's best to move inside. If you're just for a straight up tackle, I would go Tyler Steen. A lot of people think all 4 of these options are inside players, but in Kyle Shanahan's zone scheme, we've seen this over and over and over again. He wants those versatile linemen that can play all over the place.
Yes.
And so that's why that's there. So if I was picking and I had to get one of these tackles, Tyler Steen would be at the top of my list, followed by, again, if I want the versatility, then I'm going scroll down just a little bit. I just want to make sure. Yeah, Braden Daniels, that would be, I'd go Tyler Steen, Braden Daniels, Jalen Duncan, then Saldiveri if I'm ranking those tackles that are available. What about the edge position?
So we have here Carl Brooks, who I saw him at the Senior Bowl. He was great there. Really, I think had a lot of attention. His name was buzzing at the end of the week. So someone who I like. KJ Henry.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent.
Yeah, Diaby.
I'm a big Yaya guy. The Niners seem like a big Yaya guy, and
I think so
the reason
too.
He's a traits guy, so he's traits and speed and explosiveness. Now you look at the production. All right, it's all right, but the reason why he would go this high, speed. Mike says Nick Saldiveri. I like that. Britton Strange, tight end. He is climbing. The tight end out of Penn State. I think an actual honest opportunity to go in the 3rd round for sure.
All right. Well, let's make this decision. Some of these guys, I'm going to make this pick, John, just based on, some of the things you just said, the needs,
love
who I think may be available later, right? So I feel like if we're looking at Tyler Steen, maybe not someone who's going to be available, later. So I'm going to lock this pick in right now. What do you think?
It's weird because this front office has a love-hate relationship with Alabama, and that's why they meet with so many Alabama players, because they just do not take Nick Saban at his word. Probably rightfully so.
Good point.
After the Reuben Foster thing and all that stuff. So that's why they've met so much with these guys, and they have to decide, does he fit with what we want to do? And I think he does. The film says so. The person says so. I would love this pick.
What do y'all say in the comments? We lock this in, Tyler Steen. Go. We're going to do it.
I love it. Definitely not a bad thing. Not a bad thing.
We're on the clock again. Look at that. We don't have any trade offers, but that is okay. Again, I think we're going to be talking about the same guys, right? So no need to kind of go over all of this again.
I wouldn't mind looking at corners.
What are your thoughts on?
Are there some corners or safeties available? Just because I think if there's a certain guy that falls at one of these positions, then I think it makes sense. Riley Moss, Eli Ricks. There's definitely Ja'Cory Bennett.
Sure.
I'm a big beat. Did you have a chance to meet with Bennett at all? Ja'Cory out of Maryland?
No, I don't think I did.
I really liked that guy. So, there's some options there. And then what about the safeties position? Because I think for the safety position, I think if there's a couple guys that fall, the Niners would be interested. And if not, I think they're going to wait. Anthony Johnson, Marte Mapu, who I think is a linebacker, Jair Brown. That was one of the names I was looking for.
That is an option.
It's a perfect fit.
I wouldn't be mad at it at all. One thing I wonder about the safety position, the 49ers have this every year, we talk about the biggest needs for the team. And every year it seems like the 49ers disregard at least one of those positions because they don't feel that it's a need that year. So with Deshaun Gibson's, 1-year deal, maybe they don't feel like safety is as big a need as maybe we do, right? I wonder that. I don't know. I would still like to draft one and relatively high. You get your safety of the future, groom him. And, personally, I feel like Steve Wilkes, he's not going to be able to resist, just being able to bring a guy in. This is his first draft with the 49ers too, right? So I think some of that input's going to be important. I like this pick for Jair Brown. What do you guys think? Someone's saying Riley Moss. Smitty says Lamar Jackson. I don't know about I don't know if we can swing that
I
trade at this
respect that.
point,
I
but
respect it.
I do respect that. I do respect that. Jalen Skinner, redshirt player. A lot of people saying Skinner. What are your thoughts on Skinner, John? Because I know that some people think that he can more of a box safety or in the box safety, right? And I think that's kind of taken care of with Hufanga, right? So do they need another guy like Jalen Skinner, or do you think that he's good playing deep as well?
It didn't show on film. You watch him at Boise State. The dude's 6'4", legit 6'4". So, like, I mean, you see him, and in those, those uniforms, it's like giant Papa Smurf out there, like at Boise State. I mean, the dude just you cannot. He's the only person that stood out on the film. But like you said, man, he's rail thin. A strong safety, I think, is kind of his spot. His change of direction wasn't great. That's why I don't think he's a free safety fit. That's my biggest issue with them. So like if he falls to, the 6th, 7th round, which I don't see happening, then I would love it. But with Huff kind of already locked down that role, it makes it a problem. And his missed tackle rate was really, really high. So if he is a box guy and he misses tackles, I don't know. I don't know.
That's
I
fair.
like him though.
No, that's fair. Nick asked, did Tyler do a visit, Steph? Yes, Tyler Steen. Well, he didn't do a visit. Sorry. He's met with the 49ers at the Combine, at the Senior Bowl.
Multiple times. Yeah, they kept. Oh, what's up, Tardo? What's up, man?
Yeah, he says Carl Brooks. Someone wants to see the tight end, so we'll take a look. Let's see who's available for tight end here. Brenton Strange. I mean, we mentioned him a little bit ago.
He's so good. He is just so good.
You know what? Let's just put in. I didn't know you could put all the positions you want to look at. So yeah, let's look at edge as well. So here's what we have for I think the positions we should be targeting here.
Yeah, I mean, those two names that you just passed stand out the most to me, Brenton Strange and Yaya Diaby, as far as positions of need that the 49ers want to fill and as perfect team fits and value picks. So Yaya Diaby, Brenton Strange, those would kind of be the two guys I'm zeroing in on here. And then I'd throw in, if you wanted a corner, I'm a pretty big Jacorian Bennett guy, Jair Brown. There's lots of options here. Which is crazy because we're at pick 101 and we're sitting here saying, man, there's a lot of guys we really, really like. This is a good problem to have, Steph.
This is hilarious too, because the 49ers, they don't have this much time to make their decision.
No, they don't.
But,
they don't.
Hopefully they have a better plan than we do going into this. We're just winging it. We're having a good time here. We're taking, comment suggestions here. Yeah, people are saying yeah.
I'd like him. And,
because a position of need, the value at this point, and also some of these other guys we spoke about that we do like, I think will be available with the very next pick at 102 or even 155.
Yeah, it's and I think you hit on something, Steph, that was important. John Lynch said in his most recent press conference that what they do is they wait till there's like a group of guys, and when they start disappearing, that's when they talk about trading up. And they tried to trade up last year, but they got no takers. They ended up getting Drake Jackson, but this is the exact process that they do. It's just they have this conversation a lot earlier. Ace-bra, I'm with you. Look, I love all the Diaby love.
Yeah, I think we got to do it. The consensus is saying we got to do Yaya Diaby. He did have a top 30 visit with the 49ers. Definitely fits, I think, what the 49ers are looking for. He does bring speed off the edge. I think that would help, Nick Bosa a lot and all the other guys on the line. Look, we got another pick. No trade offers this time. That's fine. I'm okay with that. We've already looked at, a lot of these guys. So let's look at, who's there for tight end again. Let's look at corners again and safeties again. And, just for, shits and giggles, let's look at edge again too. Someone was asking, let's see, let me find the comment. I know it was here. What do you guys think about Andre Carter? I haven't done a lot of, work on him, but John, I know you probably have. So what do you think?
He's raw. He's the most raw edge rusher in this draft. Coming out of, Army, he's not developed. He had the lowest bench press numbers for an edge ever in the history of the combine. So he's somebody that's going to have to develop functional strength at the point of attack. But you're drafting the body, 6'6", 256. He's got good bend. He's got good hands. You just got to put this dude to weight room. So Andre Carter's interesting because I think he's a year out. Like, he's a guy that has to be in the freaking weight room working on things. I think that's kind of where he is. I do like him, though. I do like him, but he's a little bit more of a project. So with the Niners wanting some immediate results, that's going to be kind of difficult for me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the 49ers went with a somewhat raw player last year, right? With Drake Jackson. I don't think they want to do that again. They're probably looking for someone maybe a little more polished to kind of complement that a little bit. We got a question from Steve. What are your thoughts on how much influence Wilkes will have with the type of traits he likes to what traits the 49ers have drafted previously? I think that it's yet to be seen, right? What he's looking for that may be different than the 49ers, this being his first draft with the team. Just based on the free agent additions that they've made to the secondary, I would say that they value and Wilkes values versatility. That seems clear. What do you think, John?
Yeah, versatility, and he likes length a little bit more than D'Amico and Saleh did. For D'Amico and Saleh, their ideal defensive back, whether it was nickel, outside corner, safety, whatever, was 6 feet, 200 pounds. Like, we wanted those stocky, athletic corners that could be physical. He likes length. So I could see him going after more 6'1", 6'2" type guys. So a little bit taller. I was watching, everywhere he's been, he likes tall corners. So I think that's one of the things I could see him getting some more length.
Nice. Good to know. I mean, yeah, that could definitely give us some clues as to who they might be interested in for their corners. Let's see. Is Jalen Reed available?
Ooh, wide receivers. Yeah, it was a wide receiver fall because I'm not big on taking a wide receiver in the third round.
He is available.
Jalen Reed is there.
Ooh,
but
that would be great value.
But if Reed, or my favorite, if I'm just going to be honest, the old miscat, Jonathan Mingo, if he's available, I'm running that card in.
I think Mingo got picked already.
And I think Mingo's going to go early second round at this point. There's just so many small wide receivers.
I think there's a
I
few
do like Jaden
wide
Reed.
receivers. Yeah, there's a few I think that fit the 49ers. Jaden Reed, definitely one of them. I think he fit a lot of teams, right? I think Ronnie Bell is an option as well. They've done some homework on wide receivers, so I think they do end up drafting one. Now, do they do it this early? That I don't know. So looking at who we have here, let's see. Someone was asking, is Tajay Spears still there? I believe he is. We're only looking at certain
John
positions.
Lynch is in the chat. That's his Ace Bruh is Kyle Shanahan's burner account. We have validated this.
I love that. Of course, looking at running backs in the third round.
Got to.
Yeah, I've noticed Anthony Johnson has been there for the last couple picks for us. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, Iowa State. Why not, man? Let's just build a cyclone heavy team on offense and defense. I think there's two Anthony Johnsons. There's one out of Virginia. There's also one out of Iowa State. I thought he was interesting. I wasn't the biggest fan of him, but it's funny how quick he has just shot up draft boards and things like PFF, and it's interesting. But 5'11", 205. He fits exactly, the measurements that I was just telling you. You're talking about somebody that's experienced, 54 career starts. The issue that I had with him, his top end speed, 4.5, his 3 cones, decent. It's just a lot of decents, but you're getting somebody with a lot of experience, football IQ, all that kind of stuff. But I just don't think he's a third round player. I don't see that.
Yeah. And
they have him high here though.
Based on On the ADP, it seems like he could potentially be there at 155 for us if we wanted to go that route. I'm thinking either tight end or Rick's kind of tempting too.
Yeah, he is.
We've got in our tackle, we've got in our edge. I feel like they would go corner. I mean, they need a lot of corner depth. I wouldn't be surprised if they get 2 corners in this draft if they keep all 11 picks, you know.
No, it's not a bad way to go. I think there will be some jumping up and around and all that kind of stuff, but if I'm looking at just my ranks, I have Eli Ricks ranked the highest of this list, then Ja'Cory and Bennett. But there's a lot of really good fits there. So it just depends on kind of what your flavor is. But yeah, Eli Ricks, that's not a bad pick at all.
Yeah, I think he's a great fit for the 49ers as well. I'm gonna lock that in. Eli Ricks. Let's do
I
it.
like it. The 49ers have spent more draft picks on corner than any other position since Kyle Shanahan has showed up.
Oh no, John. We've gotten 2 Alabama players. We've gone rogue.
Oh, ouch. I'm not a roll tide guy, but that's okay. You draft a player, not the team. He's 6'2", Eli Ricks, 188. There's so much about what he brings. It just makes sense. Academic honor roll guy, transferred from LSU. Now, he did have issues of some lingering injuries where he missed some time in 21 and 22, which is why I think he will drop. But he's third and fourth in completions. He kind of fits what the Niners want. I had a 3rd round grade on him. I really, really like him. 6'2", 188. That's a nice linked build for Steve Wilks to work with.
And, needless to say, I don't think it's realistic that the 49ers would get to, Alabama players. To your point earlier, John, they still got some trust issues with that program, right?
Big time.
Ooh.
Oh, look who Seattle took right before we were on the clock at 154.
Oh, they would. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine.
Dorian
A couple of guys,
Thompson-Robinson,
Daniel Scott, who I really like as well.
Israel Abakanat. Man, those right there, that's like nice. 5 straight Niners targets. Yes. Davis Allen gone. Brandon Joseph gone. Israel Abakanat gone. Daniel Scott gone. Like, yeah, we got hit. We got hit hard.
Yeah. And no trade offers again. City Sao, I know he's someone that, Brad has mentioned quite a lot. And anytime Brad talks about offensive linemen, I listen. So that's definitely an option. Keitrell Clark is there, if we wanted to go another corner. Drew Scruggs. I don't know how big of a need center is for the 49ers right now.
They've met with Scruggs a lot, but yeah, I feel like you're kind of 2-3 deep at that position. With Feliciano, you signed him. Like, you've got a lot of guys that can play that center role. So, yeah, it's not a position of need here. Now, once we get here, if you get to the 5th round, tight end is like sweet spot. We got to see what's available there.
I agree.
And I'm hoping something's there. If they're all okay.
Payne Durham. I like Payne Durham. Oh, Mallory too. I like as well.
These 3 guys, I'm big on Josh Weil. But yeah, Payne Durham, Josh Weil, Will Mallory. If we get out of the 5th round without one of these guys, I will be a little upset. And probably, Steph, I think this is your first mock draft. I've done way too many to count, but my least favorite ones is whenever I get past the 5th without a tight end, because I keep saying, oh, one of these guys will fall. Oh, one of these guys will fall. And then they don't.
I know fantasy football is not, real life, obviously. Neither are these mock drafts, but I kind of have the same philosophy in fantasy football too. It's like, if you wait and you keep waiting, you're going to end up with someone who's not very, you're someone you're kind of just settling for it and not very excited about. So I agree. And I think this is a sweet spot. Payne Durham, someone who definitely, turned heads. I thought at the Senior Bowl, he looked great as a blocker out there on one-on-ones. Josh Weil was there at the combine. I got to speak with him a little bit. He's a cool guy. Will Mallory, I know he's very athletic. I think he would be more so if you want a pass catching tight end. Cameron Latu, admittedly, I haven't seen a lot of him. I just know the 49ers did a top 30 visit with him. So let us know in the comments who you guys like out of this group. We're seeing Payne Durham, bring the pain.
Yeah.
I like Weil more than Luke. Josh Weil. Ooh, it seems like it's pretty close between Weil and Durham here.
It just depends on what you want. On my
Yeah.
big board, I'm higher on Josh Weil, 6'6", 248. You know, he played wide receiver growing up. And so like he's a receiving threat that can flex out, and his blocking improved. Now I've been on Josh Weil for a while because when Desmond Ridder came out, you would see, oh man, who's this tight end he keeps hitting that's making moves in space? It was Josh Weil. But if you're wanting the big, tough, strong, extra blocking, then it's Payne Durham. So you got to kind of pick your flavor. Do you want the receiving length upside, or do you want the all around, does a little bit of everything? That's Payne Durham, 6'5", 253, shorter and weighs more. Like he's a big old dude, juggernaut. He's big.
Look, we've gotten the blocking tight ends. Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelly definitely fit that blocking tight end. Payne Durham might be more of the same, right? I'm ready for a change. I'm ready for a tight end who can be a threat as a pass catcher as well. So I think I'm leaning Josh Weil here. And by the looks of it in the comments, most of you are as well. We have Warner, exactly what I said. We have Warner. Let's get Wild. Yeah.
People speaking my language. I freaking love it, man.
Wild, pick Wild. Let's go.
I ain't even mad.
Let's go. Keaton Mitchell is another, he's a running back who, I think a lot of people say is a fit for the 49ers. They have plenty of running backs already. Look, okay, we're at 164. There, the 49ers did have dinner with him for whatever that's worth. Fihoko is someone, Coburn, Country Coburn.
I love Coburn.
Fihoko is someone who, 49er fans, Bay Area fans, big fan of, right? Because San Jose State, the connection is there. He definitely feels like someone, he feels like he'd be a Niner, right? Just if you watch him play, he's more of a stout edge, I think, but
yeah,
feels like a Niner.
Base end, I think base end, and then can kick inside. You could beef him up, and he could be permanently inside. Yeah, he's a fun player. We already got one edge, but if there's a couple positions that I'd be fine double dipping on, offensive tackle, edge, and tight end. Like those are positions. We've got 11 picks. I would be so happy if they took 2 of each one of those. So if there is an edge guy here, like Fehoko, who you really, really like, I'm totally cool with that. I am curious what the wide receiver position looks like, just because I think this is the sweet spot of the draft for the wide receiver position.
We got Dontavian Wicks, who I think would be great for the 49ers.
Raheem Jarrett, Ronnie Bell. Like, there's so many guys here. Bryce Ford Wheaton. Good Lord, pick your poison. Ooh. Now, part of me says, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, what do you guys think in the comments? Should we go wide receiver, double dip on edge? What position you kind of feeling here? Go ahead, John.
I just, if I'm looking at the way I stacked my board for wide receivers, like Raheem Jarrett's the highest rated for me. It'd go Raheem Jarrett out of Maryland, who I really, really like. Debo type guy. There is never going to be a Debo, but Debo type. Dontavian Wicks. They keep meeting with him. They just keep there's so much overlap there. Then Bryce Ford Wheaton, then Ronnie Bell. I'm so high on Raheem Hicks. I'm sorry, Raheem Jarrett. I just think that dude's a stud. But if somebody wanted to go edge or safety linebacker here, I totally get it. But man,
Let's look at who's there.
I really like that kid out of Maryland.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's some nice options here. And you know what? The 49ers aren't always going to go based on need. They're going to go best player available more often than not, I think, especially if we use all these 11 picks, for sure.
Good news is we have another pick here at about 10. So we've got 2. We got this 5th rounder, then 1 more, which is nice.
We do have the option to trade if we're interested in that. We want to move about 10 picks back with the Giants, we can. And I don't want it to go to 207. That's too far. Yeah, because Packers offering 207.
Packers can,
just if we want.
So, okay, so what would we do? Would we get the 172? We're at 164, so we're dropping back 8 picks. Would we want an extra pick this year, or would we want an extra pick next year if we did do this type of trade? Because there's a lot of guys we like here.
There is. Yeah,
I'm fine dropping back.
Yeah. Let's see.
Let's see what we can get. What if we can get their 172 and a pick next year? Let's grab a 5th rounder next year. No, that's probably too high.
Try it.
Yeah, it's not happening. Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, 7th will work.
Part of me says I don't like that.
We don't need to.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Hang up the phone.
The hotline is closed, says John Lynch.
A lot of people are saying wide receiver in the comments, though. They want to go wide receiver. So let's give it to them. Let's go wide receiver. Let's
see which one they want.
All right. A lot of people were saying Wheaton. So who do you have higher on Wicks?
I've got Raheem Jarrett a lot higher. So
just or just you just like him.
Yeah, both those things. Elite catch after yards after catch ability, very high IQ player. He can play everywhere, compact frame. He's built like a running back, which I think is good. Yeah, I put Debo type attitude. He loves to fight. He was the DC player of the year, Gatorade football player of the year in high school. He just kind of does everything. And his physicality is, ran a 4.44, but you look at somebody that's just burst, which I don't know. He just screams Kyle Shanahan type of guy, but so does Wicks. Those are my 2 highest on this board.
Nick says, can we get a guy with size, especially because Jennings will be gone next year? That's a good point.
Wicks is 6'1", 206. So if that's what you're, looking for there out of these guys, Bryce Ford Wheaton 6'3", 221. So almost identical to that speed or to the size. Now, the thing about Bryce Ford Wheaton out of West Virginia is he's a size guy, 6'3", but he also ran a 4.38. So he's a speed, but hardcore developmental. Like this dude, it's going to take him time, but you're getting a bigger frame. You're getting better speed. He's got great body control. He's an elite athlete, but he's just raw. And so drop issues, and, he's just a one kind of deep threat type guy, returner type guy.
So Tobias asked, who is the best blocker of them?
Ronnie Bell would be the best blocker, probably. Ronnie Bell and Raheem Jarrett would be the best blockers.
You see Ronnie Bell as more of a slot?
I do. His film would say so. The way they used him. Again, they jet sweeps, end around, screens, all that, returner, upside, whatever else. And you look at Ronnie Bell and you're like, that doesn't really match the way he's built. He looks bigger than he is. He plays bigger than he is. And he's not overly fast. He's a 4.54 guy, but you just get him the ball. He looks like a running back out there. So, yeah, all of these are great fits for the 49ers, and it's just kind of your flavor.
All right. Well, John, what's your flavor for wide receiver? What are we doing here?
I have Raheem Jarrett a full round ahead of all these other guys, and it's not even close to me. I am a gigantic Raheem Jarrett fan, personally. That's just my flavor.
Right. We logging that in, people in the comments? I think
the area scout has pounded the table.
I'm going to trust your judgment on this one. I'm going to go Raheem Jarrett. Let's just go for it.
And somebody just got mad at me. Somebody just cussed at us. I felt it.
Well, you know what? People were kind of all over in the comments. Some people were saying Jarrett. Some people were saying Belt. Like, there wasn't one, consensus. So that's why I was like, let's just have John pick. All right. Let's see. All right, we're on the clock again. If Hihoko is still there, this is awesome. That for for us.
I mean, you get to this point, and there's somebody that you really like at a position that I really want to take two on, and local guy, fun guy, film's incredible, and you see him there, and he fell longer than we thought he would. I have no problem with Fayoko going here. I would love this edge class, actually. If we were
Yeah,
able
it's
to walk
deep.
out with Yaya, who is a pure speed guy on the outside, and then we get our versatility base down in with Fayoko, I would be very, very happy.
For sure. So what I'm looking at here is corner because I think we got Eli Ricks. For those of you that missed that earlier, we got Eli Ricks. We did get an edge rusher already, a speed rusher, Yaya Diaby, but we're interested in double dipping in both of those because I think we need a lot of depth for both of those positions. Then I'm also looking at linebacker because let's face it, Aziz Al-Shaair gone. I think there's a hole to fill there. I do like McCrary Ball as an option, but let's see if we can get someone else as a linebacker as well. So this is who we have. Fehoko, I'm liking that pick right now. There's also Caillou Blue Kelly at a Stanford. John Lynch may pound the table for a Stanford guy who we haven't gotten yet in this draft. Jose Ramirez, I know a lot of people have mentioned him as a great fit for the 49ers in these later rounds, right? He's definitely an option, I think. I like Thomas and Coombe out of
I
he
like
was at
him
the
a lot.
he was at the Senior Bowl. Definitely someone that stood out to me. And he's not just an edge guy. I mean, he was lining up on the inside as well while he was out there. So I think he proved that he could potentially have some positional versatility as well. Jay Ward at LSU, I know a lot of people have mentioned him as a great fit for the 49ers. Let's see what the people in the comments are saying. Ricky said I cussed with you. Jay Kaner is still there. I think this is too early for a quarterback personally. Any safeties? Who were the safeties? Yeah,
I
did we
do
pick a
have
safety
Caillou
yet?
Blue Kelly, the corner out of Stanford, a considerable amount ahead of a lot of those other guys. I really liked him.
I do like him. Yep, I like him a lot. Should we go corner with this one? Double dip a little bit? Caillou Blue Kelly? Yeah, Juke says Caillou Blue Kelly is the pick. Nick says Jose Ramirez. Where's Jordan Howden? He probably goes later, which,
I think
I
so
think
too.
that's someone who the 49ers do like and definitely someone who they could take later. To my point earlier that, maybe they don't feel that safety is as big a need as we do. Maybe they wait in round 5, round 7 to
Right.
get a safety, someone like Jordan Howden. So I think he's going to be available for us later. So I don't think we need to go safety in this with this pick.
I don't
Um,
like the safeties in this class really much at all. And so I
it's
think
not
this is
very
the
deep.
problem is you get to this point and it's a philosophical idea. Do we go for the best player available? For me, that would be Caillou Blue Kelly, cornerback out of Stanford. Or do we go for more need? At what point are we just like, man, let's just get players? I know that we
Yeah,
took Eli Ricks. I get that. But man, I've got a 3rd round grade on Caillou Blue Kelly. Like I have 6 foot, 191, fits exactly what we want out of
I
Stanford.
mean, yeah,
Niners have drafted more Stanford players than any other college throughout our franchise's history. He's a fun player. Now there's other fits that are here as well, and we're not picking for like a long time. So almost all
yes,
these guys we're not going to see anymore. So these guys are all going to be gone for the most part. So I don't know. I like Fehoko. I like Kelly Blue Stanford or Kelly Blue out of Stanford. There's a lot of cats here that I would be happy with. What do you think, Steph? You're in charge here. You're the president of this franchise.
oh no. Yeah, for me, it's between Fehoko and Caillou Blue Kelly. You saying they had a 3rd round grade on him, that's very convincing to me because I love value. And I think sometimes you got to go best player available. And in this case, it would be the best player available plus a position of need and in particular depth, right? So I'm good with double dipping on corners. So I like this one. Let's lock it in.
I like it. And he's another guy that has versatility. If you wanted to move him to safety, that would be a
Mhm.
possibility. It's
Nick's just got
definitely
picked.
there.
Dude, the Rams got Jose Ramirez.
Did they?
Chiefs got Wicks.
These jerks. Those are our players.
How
I can't
dare
believe
them? John Gaines. I know a lot of people like John Gaines as well.
This is going to be a fun draft. There goes Ronnie Bell.
I can totally see him as a Raven.
Right.
I don't know why. That's just not surprising. All right, 7 picks. Isaiah Land. I like Isaiah Land a lot too. Another kind of speed rush guy. A lot of edges just went. Oh, Jake Witt. I feel like Jake Witt. So I had him on the podcast. For those of you that don't know, he was a tight end, offensive lineman. Excuse me, basketball player, tight end, because basketball was like his first original sport. Then in high school, like he kind of started playing football. So he became a tight end. Then in college, they experimented with having him as an offensive lineman. They had him play tackle. So super developmental tackle, kind of like a Joe Staley. If you guys recall how Joe Staley got his start as a tackle, also a former tight end. So definitely a project. So that's why I guess I'm surprised he goes in the 6th round, but he's getting a lot of buzz lately. A lot of teams are interested in him. They like the idea of being able to mold him. He's a ball of clay, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe he could go in the 6th, but that's crazy. All right, but let's get back to here. We're at 216. We have a number of picks to go, right?
5. We got 5 left.
5 more picks. Jesus
which I love.
Christ. I love that too. Mafi is someone who the 49ers had a top 30 visit with. He's definitely an option there. Some people, Jake Moody time. Should we look at kickers? Is that? I mean, I think the 49ers
I don't mind it in the
definitely
6th to 7th round. Let's just see what's there. I don't like it.
You
I
don't
wouldn't
sound
do
too
it.
thrilled about it. Yeah, you don't
I'm
sound
not a
too thrilled
kicker
about
guy.
it.
Jake Moody
Jake
is
Moody
there.
is still there. I doubt that happens in real life. I think the 49ers go with Chad Ryland personally. I don't know. I just keep hearing his name get brought up. And I think Jake Moody goes a little higher than when they would be willing to go for a kicker. So I think Chad Ryland's probably the next guy. But I think we can wait. I think we have.
That's your call. I will never
6
say
more
draft
picks.
a kicker.
Yeah, we got plenty more picks, so I think we're good with waiting. But look, okay.
I like Charlie
Antonio
Thomas.
Mafi.
I saw the linebacker there from Georgia Tech. If you wanted a linebacker, he's a fun player.
Okay. All right.
Will Mallory's still there. Whoa,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So if we wanted to double dip on
we
tight
want to
end,
double dip.
he does kind of fit what we got in
nice.
Weil, though. Athletic, move tight end. He's not the dude. Cameron Matsu's there too.
Hey, John, what do you think about D. Winters? Because I saw him at the Senior Bowl. He's someone that I liked. He's also a linebacker. He also plays linebacker in a way that he looked like a Niner. I don't know how to explain it, but I guess when you see enough of like Fred Warner and the way he plays, he's like Winters is very aggressive. He's quick to the ball. So what do you think of him?
I got a 4th round grade on him. I'm really, really high on him. I think he's a lot more Dre Greenlaw, a lot less Fred Warner. He's a speed guy, but he's a lot smaller. He's 5'11", 227. So he's not this, Fred Warner. It's funny when I met Fred Warner and he came to our draft party last year and I met him and I did not realize that dude is a monster. Like he's big, man. He's north of 6'3". So he's a big old dude. So D Winters is much more your small, compact, but high speed. He's a 4'4" guy. He would be automatically, and if you look at the roster for the 49ers at linebacker, we're stacked. There's a lot of guys there, but these are the ones that fill your special teams. We're in the 6th round now. How are these players going to make the roster? D Winters would be on every special teams unit week 1. This dude's making the roster. And then the upside would be there too. So I really do like him. I don't like TCU at all. But I really do like him. He's a fun player.
You know what? I don't think I'm going to think too much about this one. I know the 49ers are probably going to draft a linebacker. to your point, even if he is going to compete for that third linebacker spot that Azeez left. But to your point, even if he doesn't, become that guy, special teams, and that's extra value as well. So I'm kind of leaning D Winters on this one, and I think looking at his ADP, looking at where we're picking at 216, I feel like that's a
Yeah.
pretty decent, and also if we wanted to double dip on some other positions, I think there's some good depth on some of those other positions we could pick later. But I like Winters here.
Yeah, and once you get to the back end of day 3, you're not focusing as much on your roster as you are just the quality of player, right? You're
Yes.
looking at guys like Elijah Mitchell. Oh, we already took a running back in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We just really like this guy. You're just taking these types of guys that have traits or character or football IQ or something that is just off the charts that you think fits, and D Winters fits.
Let's lock it in. D Winters. Let's go.
I love it.
He's a Niner.
Gosh, this draft is going to be so fun. It's tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm such a little kid.
Look, we're picking again. All right. So Amafi's still there if we wanted to go with a guard. Do you think they need more guard depth? I mean, I know we got Banks, Burford
I do not.
holding down the fort, but, maybe for depth,
But if we're here, right? So again, back to what I just said, like you're kind of throwing depth out the window. These are guys that are going to come in and compete. And if they don't get it, you're hoping they land on their practice squad. Like that's just the way it goes. And so like at this point, you're starting to, right there. Okay. I just got excited. I just got excited. My buddy Josh would kill me if I didn't say this. Gervais Owens, safety Houston. We haven't touched one yet. Niners met with this guy a lot, right, Steph?
I know they have met with him before, so let's see. They met with him at the combine.
Okay.
They meet with a lot of prospects at the combine, but I do like this. We do definitely need a safety at some point, right? As we mentioned, and that's an option. A couple of other players that I like too, just off of not need, but going on value and available. We talked about Mafi. I like Evan Hull a whole lot. He's a great pass catching.
I like that.
I didn't mean to do that, but yes, a whole lot. Deshaun Johnson, is someone who people mentioned in the comments. He has met with the 49ers as well. Let's see. So Deshaun Johnson, I'm gonna say that he can probably be available. Maybe there's a chance with 247 he'll be there. Evan Hull, maybe not, but I'm okay with waiting on a running back.
I like Rashad Torrance, the safety out of Florida. There are a couple safeties here. I have Torrance rated higher than Owens, but I think Owens is a better fit on the Niners, if that makes any sense. But a couple safety options there that I like.
Yeah, I don't know if the 49ers have met with Torrance at all, which is okay. Sometimes they don't meet with some guys.
I loved your thread that you put together on the history of where the 49ers have drafted their top 30 visits in the past. I thought that was just freaking lights out. I wish there was something you could do besides just retweet or quote retweet, because I was like, this needs more. This needs more. You crushed it on that. That was incredible.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, it's all, because I do the top 30, I track those and all the visits. People say, top 30s, they don't mean anything. To which I'm like,
yeah, they do.
It means whatever you want it to mean. Like, yeah, you can look at it and come away with thinking that it doesn't mean all that much. Okay, yeah, 2 players a draft, that's not that many. But I mean, I feel like that's one of these guys who the 49ers met with, and I think we only know of like 22 or 23 in this draft that they've had top 30 visits with. One of those guys is going to be a 49er.
Yep. It was interesting. I was listening to Brock Purdy on the Kelsey Brothers podcast, and they were talking about their meetings, and Jason Kelsey was like, yeah, I didn't have one draft meeting. Didn't have one. And I think Kalijah Cansey Defense has had 0 draft meetings this year. So it's not so much like usually those meetings are because you want to check a box that you're not sure on, whether that's medical, character, academics, injuries, whatever. And sometimes you have a guy that's like, man, this dude is just, he's a captain. He's, he's going to bring all the team together or whatever else. Well, sometimes you got to meet with them and see how they are in person. And if they do jump off in this meeting to where like, holy cow, this dude's got charisma, this is what we want, things like that. So every time you see a meeting, it's not necessarily a good or a bad thing, but it's the team has a question mark that they're trying to get figured out, and they just need a little bit more. Crazy Juice, I see you, man. Gervais is available. He is there. There's a lot of guys here.
Oscar asks, have you seen any athletic and physically freaky guys that you would take a flyer on? For me, it would be Jake Witt. I think he's like I said, he has all, like his athletic profile is crazy. He forgot how much he weighed at his pro day, but he ran under 5. Like for his size, like that's pretty crazy. And when you're a tackle, that's pretty crazy. So I think that's really impressive. So he's definitely someone I think the 49ers probably have on their radar. What about you, John?
Yeah, there's a lot of defensive type guys that you could go with, but it's interesting looking at this because the tight end class I think is huge for that. Zach Kuntz is a guy that I think would go in this round, but people are talking about him being a 3rd, 4th rounder. And so the athleticism says, holy cow. But then you turn the film on and it's like, this dude doesn't want to hit anybody ever. Like he is scared of contact. And so then I'm just like, man, it's not a fit. So a lot of the day 2 guys, rounds 3, 4, and 5 usually are your athletic freaks. That's where they go. On the back end, guys like you just said with Witt, some of those guys, Malik Cunningham, the quarterback out of Louisville, I see he just went off the board. Those types of guys where major question marks in their play. Like he has no accuracy whatsoever, but he's just a freak athlete. So like maybe you can make it work with the Eagles, something like that.
Yep. Great. There's a lot of prospects like that too. And I think the 49ers probably in a good position to draft at least one of them, but let's make this pick. I think, was it Owens? Yeah. I just like this because I think we're in that range where he's going to go. If we don't pick him, someone else will before our next pick. Some of those other guys who we were looking at, I think could still be there at 247. I'm going to take that chance. Let's go with Owens on this one.
I like it.
Definitely got to grab a safety. All right. Puka Nacua, I like him.
Yeah. Charlie Thomas gone. Curtis McClendon.
Mallory to the Saints.
There's a lot of good players that are still going. Do we want to look at the quarterbacks? I know we've seen a lot of them go off the board. If you wanted to look at quarterbacks, I think that this would be a good spot. We've got 3 picks left, 247, 253, 255.
All right. Yep. Let's look at QBs. We got Jaron Hall. I know.
Good gosh.
Someone who the 49ers have met with. I think a lot of the, we only got 3 guys left here that they're ranking. Jaron Hall, Tyson Bagent, and Max Duggan. All could be options for the 49ers, quite honestly.
My highest is Tyson Bagent out of this group. I really did enjoy his tape. Niners bet with them, smart. Whatever quarterback they get, it's going to be somebody that started a lot of games, and Tyson's going to check that category for me. So if you wanted to go quarterback, these next 3 picks, that would be the one I would be going in on. But that's just me.
I haven't done a lot of homework on these guys, so I can't say for sure who I would, prefer. I trust your judgment on this one. The 49ers have met with both Hall and Bagent at the Combine and the Senior Bowl. So I think there's, some interest there. Nothing on Duggan, I don't think, that I've seen. Let me see.
Yeah, no, Duggan, I don't think he's a fit. He does. I'm pretty out on Duggan, personally. But I will say this about Tyson Badgett out of Shepherd. Like, he holds every single D2 record possible for a quarterback. I mean, he's just he started as a freshman and just stuck with it. Natural passer. Just he does everything. Little known fact: his father was the championship arm wrestler. How many did he win? I think he won like 9. Whatever, but like, this is somebody that's committed to athleticism and working out. He's in an athlete's family. I've got a 7th round grade on him. If you want a quarterback, I think he kind of fits what we want. 6'2", 213. He's a fun guy. Had 41 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions last year.
Nice. It's impressive. Yeah, I mean, why not, right? Let's go quarterback.
Somebody sitting there saying, BYU quarterback. Why did you go BYU quarterback? Which I don't mind Hall, but I don't have an undrafted free agent grade on him.
All right. This kind of feels like a time where we would get a running back as well.
Oh, yeah, let's play.
Ibrahim, I think, is someone who the 49ers would like.
I have a 7th on him. He's there.
You don't have to force it, you know. You don't have to get. I know Luke. You know, Luke is someone who
a
lot of 49er fans like. I'll say this: every year, or there's always like a nice fullback that comes out, and we're like, yeah, we got to start looking at Kyle Juszczyk replacements. Do we though? I mean, we don't really need like fullback depth. And no one's going to start over Kyle Juszczyk as long as he's here. I don't think that's a huge, position of need. Now, if you wanted to have him play a Dwelly Warner role, maybe we can swing that. But what are your thoughts on this, John?
I like him a lot. I'll say this. He could be a slot wide receiver if he lost some weight, like his routes. But I'm with you. If you think Kyle Juszczyk's going to play at least one more year after this, then I don't think that's a good pick, personally. Yeah. But I have a 6th round grade on him. I like him a lot. But yeah, I'm just going to say, hold up. There's a name there that just jumped off the screen. Up a little bit more. Richard Garage, tackle out of Florida. Yes. We talked about double dipping. This is a perfect 49ers fit. That I think could come in and, if we wanted 2 tackles,
I don't know if we need 2 tackles. But like we talked about before, sometimes you just got to go best player available. You got to go with value. That would be a value pick for sure. So, Braden Willis.
I do like Tavian Thomas, the running back out of Utah too. I see him there. I'm pretty high on him. I liked him more than Evan Hall, actually. Adam right above him.
Uncle Salty asks, have you double dipped at edge already?
Yeah.
I don't think we did.
We didn't go with Fehoko.
No. So we got Yaya Diaby at, I think that was 99, right? And then we haven't got another edge. So we double dipped on corner instead. BJ Thompson is someone who the 49ers had a top 30 with. That could be an option. Also, Tavius Robinson, someone who the 49ers met with at the Combine.
I have Tavius way ahead. Like, I think I have a 6th round grade on him. I like Tavius a lot.
Ole Miss guys too. They're nice. They come out ready.
Oh, Caleb Murphy's sitting there too. Ferris State. He's a fun guy.
Yeah, I'm like that. Man, he doesn't even got a logo. He doesn't have a. Man, they did him dirty.
They did. They did.
But okay, yeah. I think we go. Let's double dip on an edge. Tavius Robinson. Let's lock it in.
I like that pick. I like that pick a lot.
All right.
Oh, look, Caleb Murphy went right after us. So
yeah, it's a little mini run on edge guys. So I'm glad we got that one, and people are happy in the comments about that one. So
this is our last pick.
This is our last pick.
Kicker, quarterback, running back, and safety. We have not touched, which is crazy. We went through 11 positions and we haven't.
No, we got a quarterback.
Oh, we did.
We did get it.
Yeah, we did.
We got it.
Sorry.
Yeah. So Moody is still there. I don't think that's realistic.
I don't mind it either.
I just don't think it's going to happen. But I mean, Well, mock drafts are not about what's going to happen. It's about trying to get an A grade.
And think about like
I
how
mean,
many
I wouldn't
people
be
are
mad
trying
at
to
it.
predict the number 2 overall pick, and there's like 5 answers. Now trying to pick the number 255th pick, that's a whole nother. I mean, we're just Brian
I mean,
Carter. Oh gosh, you're killing me, Brian.
said kicker.
Nah, he's awesome. Brian's the man. He helped us with our draft work. He's incredible. He knows his film. He's going to be on day 2 with us for the
Nice.
live stream, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, he did send me his his draft write up, all of the prospects that he
He
write up
crushes
that he
it, man.
did, prospect list. Yeah, it was great. Moody or Willis, and I'm assuming you're talking about Braden Willis. So we got one tight end. We ended up going with who was it?
Oh, we got Josh Weil. Any show I'm
Weil.
on, they're getting Josh Weil. I love that dude.
All right, I think it's Jake Moody. I think that's what everyone's saying in the comments. I'm
Right.
not mad at it. I mean, I think obviously at this point it's incredible value. That's going to be an A grade for us. I know that for sure. Jordan Howden went right after. Forgot about Jordan Howden, but we did get a safety earlier, so
Right.
that's why. All right, let's see. So Tyler Steen was an A grade. Yaya Diaby D+, really? Okay.
Yeah, they just started pushing Yaya up the boards. They had like a 6-round grade on them. They didn't like PFF didn't like Yaya.
That's crazy. All right. That's crazy because I think there's a real chance the 49ers do get Yaya with like their first 3 picks. But Eli Ricks, I agree that was a bit of a reach. Seeing as how some of the tight ends that were around the range when we were looking at like Josh Weil, still there, like round later. I think that's why this is probably gets an F. So maybe just for value's sake, wasn't the greatest. I still like the pick though.
Oh yeah, I don't
Jarrett
mind disagreeing with PFF ever. That's
Yeah,
never a bad thing. That's never a bad thing.
Raheem Jarrett, they gave us a D-. So again, it's like, whatever.
I love
Kaya
that
Blue
pick.
Kelly got an A though. I knew that would get an A just because of the value of when we got him. And then the rest, we got a bunch of C's. So we got a C+ overall. I'm actually surprised Jake Moody got a C+. That was literally like a late 7th round pick. Interesting.
That is weird.
They don't like kickers. Well, that's okay. I get that. We did not get a running back.
There.
We did not get a running back. We decided we will go with a priority free agent, me and John. So
there we go.
We'll pick. You can't go wrong with the UDFA.
I ain't even mad.
I ain't even mad. And Nick says I can rock with this draft. Aponte is sick right now. Yeah, somewhere he's punching air that we drafted Jake Moody. But you know what, John? I'm pretty happy with this draft. It was pretty solid. What do you think?
Yeah, too much Alabama early. I don't like that. But I do like tackle, edge, corner in that first. I love that. I really do love that. And if you're watching this and you're like, man, no way we're doing that, we'll just swap somebody out, right? So like if you don't think we would have gone Eli Ricks corner in the 3rd round, you could swap that out for another position that was available there. The whole idea is to get you a feel for the decision-making process the Niners will be going through because they have so many clustered picks. I can't wait. We're so close.
So, Tom said solid picks, but no safety. We
got Gervais Owens, but late.
Yeah, we got him in the 7th round, which I think, 6th, 7th is probably where the 49ers could target a safety. I don't think they see it as a huge need right away. We double dipped on edge. We double dipped on corner, which I think, I'm
no problem
cool with
there.
that.
Value position.
Yeah, no. Alabama players are overrated. Yeah, sure.
But we got them in the 3rd round. Like, it's not like, I mean, we got them because they fell.
Yeah. Well, John, thank you so much for joining me for this mock draft. It was a ton of fun. I learned a lot. I love how like we mention a player and you're like rattling off their measurements and like, man, like you got this all in the back of your mind. Like that's crazy. So I really appreciate your insight and joining me today. For those of you who are not subscribed to John, which I assume most of you are because most of the comments are coming from John's channel, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Make sure you subscribe to his Patreon. A lot of great draft content there. And of course, if you guys aren't subscribed to my channel yet, it's Steph
100%. Get
49K.
there. Get there.
49 Carrots podcast. Make sure you guys do that. I've been doing a lot of draft stuff myself, tracking the top 30 visits, all those things. So definitely more great draft content to come. But for now, guys, we're going to let you get on with the rest of your day. Thank you for joining us for a very early, morning episode. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Peace.